All right, number 10 says the tables below represent linear functions. Which table represents a linear proportional function with a slope greater than 3? All right, we know proportional means that they increase at the same rate. Linear function, that just means something that's graphed. Linear means it's graphed in a straight line. And we're looking for one of these tables where the slope is greater than 3. Okay. A few of you, if you missed this, you might have picked the one that was equal to 3, and you need to find one that's greater than 3. All right. When we find slope on a table, if it's proportionate, meaning it would go through the origin, you can use your slope equals the y values over an x value. You can also use the change in your y values over the change in your x values. Okay. This one's more reliable because you can use it even in non-proportionate relationships. So this is the one that we're going to start sticking with. All right. So the slope that is greater than 3. All right. Looking at each table, we need to decide what our y and x variables are. Units of time are always your x variable. So hours will be x. The money is your y. If we're going to do the changes in them from 2 to 3, the change in this x was +1. From 4 to 6, the change in this y is +2. So this one would be 1/2. All right, number 10 says the tables below represent linear functions. Linear just means like the graphs where they're a straight line. All right, which table represents a linear proportional function? Remember, we're talking about proportional versus non-proportional this week. Proportional means these will go through the origin. They increase at the same rate. That y-intercept is just 0, so there's no b in these equations. And we need to find a table with a slope greater than 3. Okay, so if you saw this question and got it wrong, I'm guessing you might have picked the table with the slope of 3, or you just weren't sure how to find slope on a table. Okay, we're looking for a table with a slope that is greater than 3. So it can be 4, 5, 6, anything bigger than 3. Okay. Slope on a table. Okay, when we're doing things on a table, we typically are using the change in your y values over the change in your x values. Okay, bring that back. So let's look at our tables. Typically, your time increment is your x. So each of these, if you'll notice that x, hours, weeks, months, seconds are all on top. And your y's are all of the bottoms. Okay. So now that we have these marked, all right, the change in your y and the change of your x. Well, the change in my x, it looks like from here to here is +1. Okay. And the change in my y's is +2. So I could write this as 2/1. Okay. Even if you chose different ones. So let's do these. Okay. 3 to 6 is +3. 6 to 12. Ooh, that's a terrible arrow. Okay. +6. You would write that as 6/3. All right. 2/1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. It doesn't matter which two points you pick. If you pick 3 to 6, 6 to 12, as long as they're the ones that go together. Okay, so you can pick any two as long as you keep the matching x and y's together. All right, so the slope of this table is 2, and 2 is not greater than 3, so it's not going to be f. All right, the second one, again, x is on top. The changes in my x's, this is +1. Changes in my y's, this is +3. All right, y over x is 3/1. All right, this slope is 3, but it's not greater than 3, so it still can't be g. Okay, the next one, from 2 to 3, all right, is +1, and from 1 to 2 is +1. Interesting. 1/1 equals 1, but I want you to check something, okay? Here, 3 to 6 is +3. 2 to 12 is +10. All right. If I stack those, 10/3, I get a completely different slope. All right. You could also check it this way. From 2 to 1 is times 2. Oh, wait, no. y equals, so my 1 equals 2 times a half, 6 times a half. Interesting. Yeah, this is not proportionate. From 1 to 2, 12 to 6. Okay, they flip. These are not proportionate. Either way, it's not h. Okay. And lastly, the last one has from 2 to 3 is plus 1. From 8 to 12 is plus 4. My y over my x is 4 over 1, which is 4. Okay, so J has a slope greater than 3. All right. Coming back to this one real quick, if you had checked 14, that y over 7, you would have gotten 2, but 2 over 3 does not give you 2. So this is a non-proportionate relationship. The only one that works would be J. Okay, so when you get yours, you need to decide the slope needs to be greater than, less than, or equal to what number. Go test each of your tables and find the one that matches what your question asked for.